DC's greatest superpower isn't flight, strength, or speed. It's the ability to reboot everything, and they've done it in the most epic, most dramatic, most mind-bending ways possible. From infinite Earths to multiverse-wide wars, this is every DC Crisis event explained. If you've ever been confused by Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis, or Final Crisis, or wondered why DC keeps breaking and remaking their universe, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into the biggest, boldest, universe-shattering events in DC history, the Crisis Saga. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Crisis on Infinite Earths, 1985. We start in 1985. DC's continuity was a multiversal mess. Too many versions of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman across different Earths. So DC did the unthinkable. They blew it all up. Enter the Anti-Monitor, a being from the antimatter universe who begins annihilating entire universes. The Monitor assembles heroes from every Earth, Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth X, Earth S, to stop him. Supergirl sacrifices herself to save Superman. Barry Allen runs himself to death, stopping the Anti-Monitor's cannon. The multiverse collapses into a single timeline. The goal was to simplify DC continuity, and it worked. For a while. 0 Hour Crisis in Time, 1994. A decade later, DC's timeline was still a mess. Enter 0 Hour, where time itself breaks. The villain? Hal Jordan. Once the greatest Green Lantern, now corrupted into the reality-warping parallax. He tries to rewrite history to undo past tragedies. Heroes from multiple timelines clash. Time collapses. The timeline is reset. Again. The event tries to fix inconsistencies left over from the original Crisis. Not as iconic, but important for showing that time is just as fragile as space in the DC universe. Infinite Crisis, 2005 to 2006. 20 years after the original Crisis, DC dropped a spiritual sequel, Infinite Crisis. Remember Earth 2. Superman, Lois Lane, and Superboy Prime? They were trapped in a pocket universe after the first Crisis. Now they return, and they are not happy with how dark and brutal modern heroes have become. Superboy Prime literally punches reality so hard, he breaks the multiverse again. Wonder Woman kills Max Lord. Batman almost kills Alexander Luthor. The multiverse is reborn, but now it's a 52 Earth structure. Legacy versus modernity, hope versus cynicism. Infinite Crisis is a love letter and a critique of DC's evolution. Final Crisis, 2008 to 2009. Now buckle up, because things get cosmic and weird. Written by Grant Morrison, Final Crisis is less about battles and more about ideas. It kicks off with the death of the new gods, and ends with Darkseid taking over reality itself. Batman dies after shooting Darkseid. Superman uses the Miracle Machine to sing the universe back into existence. Barry Allen returns from the Speed Force. It's heavy, philosophical, and wild, but ultimately a crisis of meaning rather than just continuity. Flashpoint, 2011. Technically, not a crisis in name, but it absolutely qualifies. Barry Allen goes back in time to save his mom. That one decision causes a chain reaction that changes everything. In this new timeline, Bruce Wayne died. Thomas Wayne is Batman. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war. Superman is a government lab rat. Barry resets the timeline again and ushers in the New 52 reboot. A soft reboot wrapped in a time travel tragedy. Flashpoint showed how one hero's grief could collapse reality. Convergence, 2015. Let's talk about Convergence, the least talked about Crisis. Brainiac captures cities from doomed timelines. Think pre-Crisis Gotham, Flashpoint Metropolis, Kingdom Come Earth. He pits them against each other in a survival game. It ends with the restoration of the multiverse. Past timelines are canon again. Not a reboot, but a meta-apology. It basically says, everything happened, every version counts. Dark Knights, Metal, and Death Metal, 2017 to 2020. Now let's get metal. Dark Knights. Metal introduced the dark multiverse, a place made of every fear, failure, and nightmare the heroes ever had. Leading the charge is the Batman Who Laughs, a Jokerized Batman who turns evil and unleashes other nightmare Batmen on the main DC Earth. In Death Metal, the entire multiverse is twisted. Wonder Woman battles the Batman Who Laughs, who evolves into a god. After the chaos, DC embraces the Omniverse. Now, all stories matter, and canon is fluid. A loud, chaotic, high-concept crisis about fear, identity, and storytelling itself. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, 2022 to 2023. Most recently, we have Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. Pariah wants to bring back the original Infinite Multiverse. To do it, he kills the Justice League and traps them in dream worlds. New heroes, like Nightwing and John Kent, rise to protect Earth. The multiverse is reborn as an infinite multiverse again. Less about rebooting continuity, more about celebrating legacy and preparing for the future. So what does it all mean? Every DC crisis is a reflection of where comics and readers were at that time. Sometimes we crave simplicity. Other times, we want chaos. But through every death, rebirth, and reboot, one thing remains. DC's multiverse is a canvas, and every crisis is a new brushstroke. What's your favorite crisis event? Drop it in the comments. And if you want us to tackle Marvel's biggest events next, hit that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.